Hey, my name is Ben. Thanks for stopping by. Today we are going to be connecting a water line to a refrigerator or ice maker, and there are a couple different ways that it can be done. I'm going to start out by showing you how this is currently hooked up. We're going to be changing it a little bit, but if you just want to hook up regular water to your refrigerator and use the integral filter, the filter that's built into most refrigerators, then this is the setup that you'll want to create. So back here we have a 1/2-inch PEX line coming through the floor that then goes to a 1/4-inch angle stop, and then a braided 1/4-inch hose that then goes to the back of the refrigerator where it attaches to the 1/4-inch compression fitting. So I just thought that would be beneficial for some of you in case you're just hooking up regular water to your refrigerator. So I will link to these different parts that you'll need for connecting to your regular water, your soft water in your house, just in case that's the application that you have. So we're actually going to be hooking this refrigerator up to reverse osmosis water today. And so what we have here is a 1/4-inch line that we've run to the refrigerator. I'd recommend just getting flexible tubing like this. I'll link to it in the description. We drilled our hole here on the back corner where the refrigerator slides in, and we've left ourselves enough tubing that we can slide the refrigerator out without having to disconnect the line. You can also add a 1/4-inch valve if you want to for easier service in this line. We're not going to be doing that today, but they're push to connect valves. They're super easy to install if you decide to use one of those. Again, all the materials for this project will be linked in the description below. So we're going to remove our current water supply here so we can switch it over to reverse osmosis, and then I'll show you how to connect this to the back of the refrigerator. Almost all refrigerators use a 1/4-inch compression connection in order to attach the water line to the ice maker or water dispenser. And in order to attach your 1/4-inch line, these are the parts that you're going to need. The refrigerator should come with some or all of these. This is your compression nut that's going to slide onto your 1/4-inch water line. And then you'll have a ferrule. This little tapered piece of plastic then slides over the top of the 1/4-inch pipe as well. And this right here, this tiny little piece of plastic, is a stiffener. We slide the stiffener into the 1/4-inch pipe, and that prevents the pipe from being crushed when you tighten down the compression nut, and it allows it to seal properly. So those are all on there, and this is going to slide up a little bit further. We'll push this into the fitting, and then this ferrule will be pushed up to the correct place by the nut. We'll take the end of our 1/4-inch pipe here and insert that into the compression fitting, and we'll push it in as far as it'll go until it stops. And then we'll put our compression nut on there and spin that down, and we'll go ahead and get this nice and snug. We don't need to go super tight because we're obviously not working with the copper line or anything, so if it was copper, you'd get it a little bit tighter than you do when you're working with a plastic water line. So that looks good. Now this refrigerator, the compression fitting is attached directly to the solenoid valve that lets the water into the refrigerator, so you have to use this compression fitting to connect it. If, however, you had a refrigerator that had that compression fitting adapted onto a piece of plastic water line like this, then you can actually just get rid of the compression fitting and use a push to connect fitting instead. So if we had to, for example, connect onto this green water line right here, and they had a compression fitting adapter crimped onto there, we could just cut our plastic water line off and then use a push to connect fitting to connect this water line directly to that. There's a guy holding a knife right there. It's making me nervous. We're using 1/4-inch water line to supply it to this fridge today, which is adequate in most situations, but you get a little bit better flow if you go with a 3/8-inch line, and then just using a push to connect 3/8 by 1/4-inch adapter, you can adapt to the smaller size at the refrigerator. This will help especially if you're running a pretty long distance in the basement or whatever to get to your water source. If you run a little bit larger line like a 3/8, it might work a little bit better. So that's something you can do if you want to, but 1/4-inch is fine as well. Now that our water line is hooked up here, we'll go down and make the connections in the basement at the reverse osmosis system. If your reverse osmosis system is located under the sink, this process would be virtually identical. You're going to be tapping into the system at the same point that I'm about to show you. Our water line comes down right here and runs across the ceiling. You can run it however you want to, pretty much, over to wherever your water source is. Right here is our reverse osmosis water system, where we will be attaching that line. Before you cut into your water line, make sure that you turn off the pressure tank. There should be a valve on top of it. So this is turned off right now, as well as the inlet water line coming into your reverse osmosis system. As you can see, we've got that turned off right here. And then you'll also want to relieve the pressure upstairs at the faucet just by opening it, and you could even leave it open while you work on cutting into this here line. This right here is the water line that is going up and feeding our reverse osmosis spigot up at the sink, and so that's the line we're going to be cutting into in order to supply the refrigerator or ice maker. So here's the end of our water line coming from the refrigerator, and we're just going to cut a push to connect T piece into this line that feeds the faucet upstairs. I'm just going to use my utility knife. It'd probably be better to use an actual PEX cutting tool, but I don't have one handy today. As long as you cut it nice and straight, it will work just fine. Hopefully we don't get sprayed with very much water. Let me show you. Oh, there's a little pressure there. I'm just rounding the edges of this pipe over a little bit with my fingernails just to prevent any damage to the O-ring and the fitting. Make sure you push these all the way on. Sometimes it feels like they're on, like right now it feels stuck, but it's not in all the way. We just gotta keep pushing it until it slides in. You can see it slide in the rest of the way there just now. Same thing on that side. And now we can take our 1/4-inch line coming from our refrigerator, push that in, and we're all connected up here. We're ready to turn the reverse osmosis system back on. So we'll see if we have water here. And we do. There might be some air as well at first. If you have a water filter with your refrigerator, you will not technically need the water filter anymore once you have switched over to reverse osmosis. And your refrigerator should have come with a bypass kit so that you can just skip the water filter altogether. But if you don't have that or you can't find it, it's probably not the end of the world to just leave the filter in there. It's going to be filtering perfectly clean water, so it shouldn't really cause any problems. But you can bypass it if you want to. And we'll just inspect our fitting for leaks and make sure that looks good to go. And it does, so should be set. So our water line is all hooked up to our refrigerator and we are good to go. Hit that thumbs up button if you found this was helpful and subscribe down below for more videos just like this one. If you need a reverse osmosis drinking water system in your house, click right over here on this video where I show you exactly step by step how to install this system right here. Thanks a bunch and we'll see you in the next one.